All right, welcome back to another Timothy Sports Talk. I'm Will.
I'm Charles.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Adam.
I'm Coach Wyatt.
I'm Matt.
All right, and we're here to discuss our new varsity basketball coach, just get to know him a little bit better and, what the road to winning state looks like this upcoming year. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about your history of, how you came to love basketball.
Yeah, it's all I know, to be completely honest with you. My dad was a coach. I just remember growing up in a gym and bouncing a ball around and shooting air balls when I was 2 or 3 years old at the 10-foot rim. So I grew up in the gym. So that really started it all, and played my whole life, played at Elmhurst University, coached there the past about 7 years. So and then once this job opened up, I just thought it was a dream job and something that I wanted to pursue, just with my kids coming to school here and my wife being an alum from here. And it just seems like the right fit.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how was it, taking a step away from playing at Elmhurst University and coaching there? What was it like to step away from that to come here?
Sure. Well, it's funny. I resigned from there in July, and then actually was at the point where I was okay just being done. I got burnt out a little bit, to be completely honest with you. It was just a lot of time away from my family, and I just thought I lost the vision a little bit. I thought I lost my family being first, and it was all about just winning and serving the players, and I lost sight of just my family, to be completely honest with you. And so I got in the insurance world. I've been there for about 10 months now, and I feel like when you're a coach, you always just find the itch to get back. And I knew taking this position and learning from what I did at Elmhurst, I wouldn't lose sight of that again. And my wife was on board. I say this, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I asked my boys, I said, hey, do you want Daddy to coach again? And both of them said yes. And I was like, all right, I think that's my sign. And so they're excited to be back in the gym. They're going to be around practice and be with the guys. And so I'm really looking forward to that, to have them kind of had what I had, where you grow up in a gym and be around it. So I don't think it's a step back. I think it's a step forward. I'm really looking forward to it. The guys have been great. They've been very welcoming. And I'm really excited for June. Get this thing going, and I can get on the court with them.
That's awesome to hear.
Where did your dad coach?
Yeah, so I grew up in Southern Illinois. He was in at Flora High School, about 4 hours south. Yeah. So, yeah, 2A. I know the 2A landscape pretty well from that perspective, and I kind of know the powerhouse schools down there. But yeah, it's a different ballgame up here. I mean, it really is. But I think we can do something special.
That's awesome.
Did you start coaching right after you played at Elmhurst? Did you go directly into coaching?
Yeah. So I fell into a grad assistant job down in Anderson, Indiana, close to Indianapolis. So I was there for a year. And that's how I got into it. I mean, when I finished playing at Elmhurst, I didn't think I wanted to be done with the game. And I got an elementary education degree, and I really just wanted to coach full time. I didn't know really how to do it, but that's what I wanted to do. And grad assistant jobs are hard to get, and I got lucky. You got to have some little luck in life, and I got lucky and fell into a pretty good spot, and it was a pretty good program at the time, and was there for a year, and then came back to Elmhurst, and the rest is history. So, but yeah, it was a cool year to just get my feet wet in the coaching business.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I'd ask, sort of what's just like your favorite part about coaching, sort of being able to build that sort of community with a group of people?
I really think it's all about the relationships. I mean, it's the X's and O's are great, and the win and the ball games are awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's the relationships that you create with the players. And I get a lot of people ask me like, what's your identity? And I just feel like I'm a relationship-driven coach trying to be a 1%er. And however that you want to portray that is how you want to portray it, but I don't feel like I can coach the guys very well if I don't know them on a personal level of, hey, what's going on? Hey, how's this test coming along? Or, how's your girlfriend or whatever, that sort of stuff. Right. It just helps me coach them better because they're not pawns, that we have stuff going on outside the court. And it's my ultimate goal to just never lose sight of that. And on the flip side, they can come back as alums, and you see them, and it's great. And I think we'll work really hard, but I hope they have a great experience through the trials and tribulations of the season. But it's all about the relationships for me.
Oh, I could not agree more. I mean, I always enjoy it way more to play for like coaches that I have a relationship with, because it's like you know them and you actually like want to make them proud and you want to perform for them. So I think that's very important part of it.
Yeah, and everybody's different. And then I told you guys this when I first got the job of, me getting to know you better also helps me coach you. Where not everybody you coach is the same. Where some guys, they like it when you get on them. For some reason, it just gets them going. And some guys don't like it at all. And it just helps me coach them better of, how can I get you going? And know your personality and that sort of things. And the relationship makes him a better player and it makes me a better coach. And so it's a win-win. I just can't see it being any other way, to be honest with you. And also just the part of letting them know that I'm human too. I'm going to mess up. It's in the nature. I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. I think we can agree upon that. And, I don't want them to think that I'm perfect. And I screw up. I'm going to admit it. They screw up. They're going to admit it. And we're going to move on. And it's no harm, no foul, but we're striving to be good people and to win ball games.
As a coach, what's like a sport or an activity that you like take stuff from and apply it to basketball and coaching?
Yeah. I'm a big golfer. That's the one thing that I like to do when if I have any spare time outside of family and basketball, I like to play golf. And I take a lot from golf. Golf is a 5-hour round, and you have to be calm, cool, and collected the whole time. You can't ever get too high. You can't ever get too low. And from a demeanor standpoint, seeing how the Rorys and the Justin Spieths and the Ricky Fowlers and all them handle those moments of just trying to be calm, cool, and collected, good or bad, I think is phenomenal. And there's just something to be said about just a cold, stoned, level-headed dude that you can never rattle. And golf is the hardest sport, in my opinion. And so I take a lot from that. The other part is I think football is a good one too, just in regards to the X's and O's and schemes. And I know UConn's doing it quite a bit right now if they're taking some football concepts and implementing it into the basketball world. But my answer has to be golf, to be honest with you, just from the level-headed perspective.
We have a new assistant coach. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, Jay Militello. He's awesome, man. I'm so excited to have him. He was my first call when I took over, and Mr. LeGrand was like, "Hey, you got to find an assistant." I said, "Perfect." And I called Jay. Jay was a former player of mine at Elmhurst, and he was on the team in 2022 that made it to the national championship. And I say this, and Jay will know this. He wasn't the best player on the team, but he was an extremely pivotal part. He guarded the other person's best player every night. He was very unselfish offensively. And I say it was a second-team all-conference player. So he's awesome. He's been coaching around the AAU stuff for probably 6 or 7 years now. Just has a really good feel for the game. He lives in Elmhurst. His wife's about to have a baby, and just a really good, strong Christian dude. And it was the perfect fit. And I'm so happy that he's a part of it. And I think his knowledge is going to help. And I say this from a coach's perspective. He knows me and I know him. And that's half the battle when you start taking over a new program is, does the assistant and the head coach, they know each other? Can we work together quickly? And I know we'll be able to do that. So looking forward to Jay. He's going to be awesome.
Back in the day, how would you describe yourself as a player?
Oh, goodness. Good question. Shooter, scorer. I tell you this, I couldn't guard a soul. I know it. When I played at Elmhurst, we had a guy that blocked a lot of shots, and I always joke when we see him at weddings and stuff, I'm like, well, you can thank me because I just let everybody blow past me, and then you could block their shot. So, but no, shooter, scorer. I mean, I think as you go up in levels, your game changes and your role changes. I thought in high school I was a pretty good all-around player, and then when I got to college, everybody's as big and as strong and as fast as you, and so I had to adapt. And I could shoot the three. I mean, that was kind of my thing. So I just tried to score more than the person that I was guarding. And if I could do that, then I could stay on the floor. So,
For sure.
yeah.
I just have a question. What sort of like, do you have any pieces of like general or personal advice that you would give to us, whether about that's being a coach or being a player?
Sure. I think the thing that I would tell guys is, the role that you have or the starting position that you have at the beginning of the season, 95% of the time doesn't end that way at the end of the season. So what I'm saying is, if you're not happy with your role at the beginning of the year, it's okay. Roles change and evolve and rotations change. And I don't think I've ever been a part of a program where we've had, these 7 or 8 guys in the rotation and we end with those 7 or 8 guys at the end of the year. And so this game's supposed to be fun, but you also have to understand the highs and lows of it. And you just have to understand that's part of it. So I think the thing that I would tell you guys is, don't give up on it. And on the flip side, if you're in that role and you're happy with it, then you better work pretty hard to stay there because things change. Complacency is probably the one that I would say. Just don't get complacent. And if you're not happy with your role, things change and keep working because it always evolves.
What's one quote or, something that you heard from like a coach or a teammate that kind of stuck with you and that you apply to your day-to-day life, but you also like apply on the basketball court or when you're coaching?
Yeah. Oh, man. It's cliche, but the saying Rome wasn't built in a day. And I think that's great. But I think the thing that people forget about is, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was also worked on every day. And I think that's the part that I'm like, okay, can I just chop wood every day at this? From being a better coach or better at my job or being a better dad or whatever. How can I just find a way to just get a little bit better at this every day? And if I do that, then I think I'm going to be pretty good. But it's one of my favorites. I feel like everybody forgets Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, I know. But it was also worked on every single day. And if you do that, whatever you're trying to perfect in your craft, you'll get better.
Do you have a favorite team or that you've coached or played at?
Favorite team that I've coached or played?
on?
Well, you always like the teams that you win, right? I mean, I think those are your babies. But the year we made it to the national championship, that team was amazing. I mean, they were really good and just found a way to battle through any adversity that came across them. But the one that I think has the biggest sweet spot in my heart was 2020 when COVID hit. Everybody has a COVID story, right? Well, this is our COVID story. We'd smoked. We were in the NCAA tournament, and we'd won both the first 2 games, round of 64 and round of 32, by 20. I mean, we were rolling. And so we were in the Sweet 16, and we were going to host it at Elmhurst, and we were playing a team from California. And this was when the world was shutting down. It was like that Thursday or whatever when Duke said, we're done, we're not pulling out. And then Harvard says they're done. And then it was like, okay, everybody's about to be done. And so the team from California was literally on the plane at the airport about to take off. And then we get the call from the NCAA saying, hey, everything's done, it's over. And that was, in my opinion, I thought that was the best team we had at Elmhurst. And it's unfortunate because that team didn't get to finish the season. Win or lose, maybe we got beat. I don't know. I don't think we would have, but my opinion. They just, there was no closure. Either you win it all or you get beat. And you're like, okay, we got beat. Good season, whatever. There was no closure. So it's the what if. And that was a really good team. They were playing such good basketball, and they were great people. And so yeah, we were supposed to host a Sweet 16. Things got canceled, and we never know what's going to happen. So that they've got a sweet spot in my heart just because I feel for them. Because those seniors, they didn't get that year back. Like, they're done. Their college career's over. Those guys weren't going to play professionally. They were going in the business world or whatever. And just think about it. If season ends, you can't play that last game.
Get that back.
Yeah, win or lose, whatever. And it's just not fair that they got that taken away from them. And everybody has that story, but for those guys, it was really unfortunate.
So I got just a fun question. How many? What's your career high in points for a game?
Yeah, 40. Yeah, threw up a 40 piece in high school. Was feeling it that night. Yeah, I had many 30-point games, but 40 was the 40 was the number. 20 or so in college, but 40 in high school. So,
Sheesh.
well, I want to ask you guys this. What are you guys looking forward to for the season? I mean, there's a lot of new coaches, new system, whatever. I mean, what are you guys looking forward to for this upcoming year?
I can go first. Not being on the basketball team, I'd love to get some wins and be able to talk smack to some other schools.
Sure.
And have some fun chants mixed in there with it and get big red zones. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Looking forward to that too.
Am I good?
Me? I'm looking forward to get after it in summer. I mean, we have how many games do we have this summer?
29.
About 20.
20?
About 20. Yeah,
20?
cut it down to about 20.
So
So,
that's like almost a full season in 1 month. So I'm excited to start at it.
sure.
Yeah, I'd say summer ball is like my favorite part of high school basketball, which is kind of weird because it's unorganized and in the hot summer, but it's super fun because it's just kind of your raw team and you don't run a lot of stuff. It's just your guys kind of playing together and we're
Sure.
playing against these much bigger schools and hanging with them, and it's just a fun time. But then I guess during the season, it's kind of like a new coach. You get a new opportunity. I mean, I know what kind of player I was last year, and I don't know if I'd like to be that kind of player again. You kind of like to expand or grow or change, so I think that's a nice opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah, I think just being able to be with, again, like a new group of people, new players, new coach, I think it's sort of refreshing at some points, and being able to, I guess, show off sort of like the growth that you've made over the off season, I think.
I enjoy summer ball too. I just like playing sports, so just another thing to do.
Yeah. Our biggest rival, I don't know. I feel like Chicago Christian thinks they're our biggest rival, but I don't
No,
really
it's
think we
weird.
are. It's got to be
Chicago
Wheaton
Christian
Academy.
thinks they're our rival, but it's I think we beat them normally. So
Yeah.
Wheaton Academy is
Or I see.
normally
IC,
our rival,
definitely.
but I think IC, we know the kids a little better on IC, and we've played them, I think, 5 or 6 times in the past 2 seasons combined, which is a lot. We're 3 minutes away from each other, so I'd say they're probably our biggest rival. I'm hoping we get them in the regional again next year, so we
Sure.
can.
Who's the school who made the fake Barstool account?
That's weird.
That was
That was
Yeah,
Wheaton,
okay.
yeah.
Wheaton's my least favorite team by a long shot. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.
Go Trojans.
Coach Trojans, yeah.
Not at all. I low-key just woke up and had a long day yesterday. So. Hey, but fishing team qualified for conference or
Really?
regionals. Regionals. Is that a thing? Yeah, we started it this year too.
Where are your socks?
Hey, no jinx.
How
I
many-
was gonna ask what his pregame ritual is, but that's
Is that like how many?
Is that secret knowledge though? Like you don't.
How many M&Ms can you fit in your mouth at one
What's
time?
the what's the most points you scored in a single game or something like that?
Okay.
or